guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today we're playing something a little bit special. ShadowOnlineGaming got a hold of me the other day and asked if I wanted to take part in his Shadow Against the YouTubers series. And yeah, I've obliged him. We played 5 matches on Saturday, had a good natter about Warhammer, and a lot of fun was had by both of us. So yeah, so this is actually the first battle of that series. So I think it's going to be an interesting one. So great thing about ShadowOnlineGaming is he tends to bring very themed armies. They're not the most competitive, but they're really interesting to play against because you know they always have a set theme, and that's really cool. He was saying he plays Warhammer Tabletop a lot, and he always brings themed armies. So he was saying his Skaven army, for instance, is just swarms of rats. He goes for a real Skaven swarm, you know. He did the same with Tyranids for 40k, you know. He just loves those themed armies, you know, sort of lore-friendly armies, which I really like. I think it's a real change from, you know, sort of, you know, a lot of YouTubers going for the more just the outright competitive stuff, even if the army composition doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense. So so I think it's really fun. So you should definitely check out his channel. I'll be talking more about him later on and throughout the rest of the series. So yeah, good fun. So the first battle we had, I was the Greenskins and I was against the Vampire Counts. So so my army, I threw him a bit of a curveball because normally against the Vampire Counts with the Greenskins you want to bring Black Orcs, right? Because you know they're immune to psychology and they're just unbelievably good infantry. So, you know, really useful. Very prone to getting killed by Fate of Boona, though. That's one thing I've noticed. But, you know, that's fine. So I threw a bit of a curveball. I've actually got a front line of Savage Orc Biggins, which seems a bit bizarre, because, you know, they're anti-large, generally. So usually you'd bring, you know, maybe Savage Orcs in the front and Biggins to back them up. But I went all Biggins, because I know their, you know, their weapon strength and everything is so high. So yeah, 46 weapon strength, and, you know, that's just pretty unbelievable. So they can do a hell of a lot of damage. They're really good at hitting things, so they can take out just sort of cheaper undead infantry very easily, you know, regardless. So that's great, but it means I also have a lot to react to any cavalry or anything that he's got. So, or, you know, crypt horrors or whatever. So that's really useful, so I can take out the most expensive things in his army. And also, these guys should be fine against his, you know, sort of more sort of trashy enemies, right, you know, the skeletons, etc. So, yeah, so I think that's quite a fun pick. So yeah, I also got 2 giants, don't have to worry about missile fire. I've got Skarsnik, again, huge anti-large, which is really good, so great for taking out lords. And also, I've got 3 lots of trolls, because they're just great at just getting in the way of everything. And they do have a hell of a punch on the charge, so, you know, so that's pretty good. So, also got the Rusty Arrows for their armor sundering, which is really good, and I've also got 2 lots of Goblin Archers that can take advantage of the armor sundering, and, yeah, get way more damage in on armored targets. You know, so long as they're shooting at the same target as the Rusty Arrows, which they will be for the most part. So, yeah. So, this is happening quite quickly, isn't it? So, on one side here, he's got Blood Knights, and he's got 2 lots of Black Knights with Lances and Barding, so he's got great anti-large here, and some really good anti-infantry as well. So, these guys will be able to demolish my archers in seconds, and these guys will be a massive danger for my giants and trolls. So, should be interesting. So, and over here is front line, a couple of skeleton spearmen on either side. So really good, cheaper sort of you know, anti-large units. So if I came in with cavalry or anything of my own, you know, he'd have a very cheap way of countering them. In the middle, now these would have been great against Black Orcs. He's got Graveguard with great weapons, but I have like no armor. Because yeah, Savage Orcs have 0 armor. Giants, I think, have what, 30? Yeah, 30 armor. Trolls have 40. So I have no armor for him to really deal with. So yeah, so he basically just wasted the money on that. Obviously, you know, he needed to bring them in case I brought Black Orcs, but with the build I brought, I've sort of negated that, you know, that help that he brought. And so he's also got a couple of Crypt Horrors as well. They're obviously just, you know, they're great units, similar to the Trolls. They just, you know, have a hell of a punch. But the fact that he can keep healing them up, that's great. And he can keep healing them up because he's brought a Master Necromancer as his Lord and 2 other Necromancers on foot. So there's going to be a lot of healing going on and a lot of zombies being summoned. So, yeah, I'm going to have to speed things up because we're about to start fighting. So he immediately puts down 3 units of zombies in front of my charge, which just ruins my charge completely. And over here, I send off some Savage Orcs to block these charges because I want to keep my archers in the fight. So I get my archers shoot the Blood Knights, which is good because they're large, so they're not going to get obstructed by my Savage Orcs as they're fighting. So I can keep firing at them while I'm blocking them with my Savage Orcs. So I sent another unit, you know, around this side to stop him flanking around this way, which looked like a possibility. But I soon charge him in. So over here you can see my giant is actually just wading through everyone to deal with that Necromancer, which is a massive pain. So, yeah, that'll have to do. That giant seems to be standing still, which is very irritating. But, yeah, so he's going to get swarmed. But look at the amount of damage he's done to the Necromants already. Unfortunately, though, his Blood Knights are caught wind of this, and they're going to go and help that fight, which is really tough for the giant. He's really singled out, and that's a very expensive unit for me. He can do a lot of damage, as you can see from the amount of damage he's doing to that Necromancer. But he has managed to escape me, which is very, very annoying for me, because that would have been a great, like, early win for me. So you can see my trolls are all starting to, starting to go. They're not the best at that, and but it'll have to do. And so yeah, Black Knights now, they're really getting damaged. You can see these Savage Orcs, they took 3 charges, and they've still got more than half the health, which is unbelievable. They are very resilient, these Savage Orcs, so that's pretty great, because they've got that physical resist. It's very handy. So taking out one of his units of cavalry. Over here, I can't tell if I'm shooting his Crypt Horrors or his Master Necromancer, but the Crypt Horrors are getting in the way. I think I might be going for the Necromancer with my archers at the moment, which very cleverly he throws down some zombies over here to charge into my archers to get them wrapped up, which is a great move on his part. Here though, so his Blood Knights now. I charged in my Savage Orcs to try and help out the giant. That was one of my flanking ones that were trying to prevent cavalry charges. I don't have to worry about any other cavalry now. The last of those Black Knights are going down, so that's really good. So it's only these Blood Knights that are wrapped up trying to kill the giant. So they're going to be in sustained combat with these Savage Orcs, once the Savage Orcs can get through these Ruddy Spearmen. See, I told you they'd be useful. So here I'm trying to get Skarsnik on his Master Necromancer as well. So he's summoning more zombies back here to stop the archers from shooting at him. And you'll see he summons more zombies on top of me to stop Skarsnik from chasing him. So here, probably would have been a good idea to send my giant to try and finish him off. But instead I want to take out these Blood Knights. So I've got a lot of archers firing at these Blood Knights now. And I know that he spent a lot of Winds of Magic on these zombies, because he's summoning so many, that he probably won't be able to get them with an Invocation to Heck before I can take him out with my archers. Unfortunately though, he's still chasing me with all these zombies, so I keep having to split up my archers, try and well, keep them from getting eaten, I guess. So, yeah, so very annoying for me back there. I could have singled out a load of units and killed them by now if I didn't have to keep running away. So really good use of zombies there. So now I've managed to punch through this line, so that's great. So now I can get those Savage Orcs to try and bail out Skarsnik, who isn't really in any danger. I mean, he's got 68 kills right now. He's just wading through zombies, but unfortunately there are just so many zombies there I can't path him out to do anything to these guys. That, and now, this is a pretty secure area for him. He's got 2 Necromancers and his Master Necromancer, Crypt Horrors, he's got a Spearman in here, he's got some Graveguard in here. So this is a lot for me to deal with, so I can't just send Skarsnik on a mission to take out his Master Necromancer, he just gets swarmed. So, yeah, so now I'm just trying to get rid of these zombies so I can, start moving around again. So I've moved these Goblin Archers right down one side so I can get, attacks from more than one direction, and it means that he can't just put one lot of zombies and chase everyone off there, they're so split up. And only though he is chasing them, and he keeps catching those guys. I keep trying to curve them around, and I think he keeps getting, like, one corner of the unit, which is very annoying. So now you can see I'm trying to shoot at the Necromancer again. His Master Necromancer, summoning more zombies to try and halt this blob of units I've got going on. But he has managed to scare off my giant. So while my giant was scared off, I charged in the trolls to try and stop these guys from being able to chase him. Because, yeah, I want him alive. Very much so. So, yeah. So I've got a big blob of units, he's got a blob of units. So, and also I'm having to run away from these ruddy zombies everywhere. Which, yeah, very good use of zombies throughout this match, actually. The amount of times, I could have killed something vital of his, and then couldn't, because there were zombies everywhere. So it was really, really interesting. But yeah, I didn't really spot him using an Invocation to Heck at all, though. I think he used all of his Winds of Magic on zombies. So it hindered me a lot, but he couldn't. He didn't seem to keep his better units alive throughout it, which I think, yeah, I think did him a bit of a disservice. But yeah, it was very interesting how to react to all the zombies. It made it very, very fun, and I think that was mainly the theme of his, of his army here, because he always brings themed armies. So the idea of necromancers constantly rising things from the dead, that's very much the theme he was going for here, and honestly, it's been really fun so far. So now, finally getting Skarsnik into the mix. Oh, I took out his Master Necromancer, now I'm just trying to focus down the other ones. Skarsnik's anti-large, all these are just infantry, so he's not getting any bonuses there, but, he's still pretty good at melee, he's got Gobbler backing him up. So now I'm trying to move around a bit. So zombies still chasing my giant away. He's not broken anymore, so he's just turning around and smushing them into the ground. But, that's good. So his necromancers now have all crumbled, and so now it's just down to these zombies. So, yeah, yeah, job well done, guys. Job well done. Unless these zombies can turn it, but I don't like their chances. So, yeah, so they're taking arrow fire now, you know, they're being squished, and obviously they're just melting anyway, because they're summoned, so they take damage over time. So, they'll be gone pretty quickly. Pretty quickly indeed. Oof, especially if that keeps happening. My word. So, yeah, there they go. So, yeah, pretty comfortable there. Pretty comfortable. You know, pretty tattered units. I can't believe how much damage my giants took. He did really well trying to single them out, but he just couldn't quite finish them. Which, yeah, is a real shame for him, because they did some work. So, if we see the, you know, the sort of breakdown here, you can really tell that this was an army that summoned a lot of zombies. Look at this, 227 kills, 105, 183, 188, 147. Like, that is ridiculous. That is so many kills. And just so many of them were zombies, he just kept putting them away. You know, 150, 120 for the Giants. The Trolls didn't get a huge amount of kills, to be honest. They were more just to get in the way of his units, really. Stop him from being able to move around. And, you know, they got a bit of punch. I mean, that's a fair bit of damage. And that was in, you know, the actual frontline fight they got into. So, yeah, so the Trolls did okay. And, yeah, the Archers, although, you know, only 10-17 here, they would have really helped take out all of his cavalry. You know, Rusty Arrows clearly did the best there. Because they've just got better range attacks anyway, as well as the armor sundering. So they were always going to get more damage in. But these two units, very cheap, and they did definitely help do some damage to the Blood Knights. They kept constant pressure on his units, and also he was able to they were able to single out the Master Necromancer when he'd finally run out of Winds of Magic, you know, to stop putting zombies on top of me. So, so that was really interesting. I thought that was really fun. So yeah, so this is one of 5 matches. So this is going to be a match a day. From Monday to Friday, well, we'll see more of Shadow Online Gaming and his cool themed armies. So yeah, it's gonna be a good best of 5. It was very entertaining, and it's a really good chat to the guy. He's a really good dude, so you should definitely check out his channel. So yeah, the link is in the description if you want to have a look at that, and I encourage you to. It's very good, and you can also see his match against Pharaoh Owar that he played. What his matches? He played 3 with another YouTuber. So you should check that out too. So, guys, if you enjoyed this video, comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one of the tournament. Have a good day, guys.